Are you interested in Kadena's ecosystem? Are you bullish on Kadena? Well, today we're going to be taking a look at a project that is leading the DeFi space in Kadena's blockchain. We are talking about eckoDAO, and we're going to go over everything that it has to offer. Originally, it was called KDX, but they have evolved, and now they're offering more products to their ecosystem, and thus they recently just rebranded to eckoDAO. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is, of course, their mission, the reason for the rebranding. Then we're going to go ahead and talk about the different facets of this ecosystem, because before it was emphasized as being a DEX on the Kadena blockchain, but now it is much more of a community building towards decentralization on the Kadena blockchain using the tokenomics of what was once KDX. Now, the name eckoDAO was chosen because, of course, this is a DAO, and one of the bigger components of decentralization is having the opinion and the community decide what the project ends up doing. So this is why eckoDAO is a fitting name in my opinion, and it also just goes to show that it's not only a DEX anymore, it's more of an ecosystem alongside its products. So this DAO actually aims to advance Kadena and the Pact language. And if you're unfamiliar with the Pact language, it's not built on Solidity. It's actually built on its own language, and that is the Pact language. So a cool thing about one of their elements in this ecosystem that eckoDAO offers is actually the eckoGOV, and this is where they are enabling people to use their tools to create their own DAO on chain, and they are essentially inviting other projects, other institutions to participate in building what Kadena will be. So again, it is just promoting Kadena as a whole. Yes, they have this ecosystem, they have their eckoDAO, but they are also promoting Kadena to the entire world, and not only focusing on their own ecosystem, but rather on the entire Kadena blockchain. Now, if we dive deeper into eckoDAO and understand a bit more as to what it offers to the community, as you may recall, the KDX token is in fact the token that is governing this project. So this is still the same thing, even though there's been a rebranding. All of the smart contracts, all of the tokenomics surrounding KDX are simply not affected. Now, all of that stays the same. So of course, KDX is still the governance token of eckoDAO. You have fair governance within this DAO because people are able to voice their opinions through owning KDX. And one of the best things about Kadena's blockchain, in my opinion, is that it's completely gas fee. So to even vote on chain, it's not going to cost you anything. And interacting with this ecosystem is not going to cost you any money. And if it does, it's only going to be a few pennies. Now, in terms of tokenomics, if we talk about KDX, as I've said, this hasn't changed one bit from the previous KDX, but if we take a look at the max supply, we are talking about 1 billion tokens that are available in terms of KDX. Now, one of the things I especially look at when we're talking about who actually owns this, first off, we have no presence of venture capitalists, which is great because oftentimes they are the ones that get the best deal out of the end, and they are essentially the first investors at the best price possible, and oftentimes they end up selling and crashing the price of a project. Now, in this case, there's no venture capitals. There's about 5% of the token supply that goes to the team, 10% burn, 20% to the community for community incentives. 25% is actually owned by the DAO, and we're going to get into that in a second here as to what this means. And lastly, they have 40% in liquidity mining, and that's obviously for community incentives, as well as boosting LPs and making sure that the community is actually providing liquidity onto this DEX. And going back to the DAO treasury, we can see that 25% of 1 billion is in fact 250 million KDX tokens, and that's exactly what they have in their treasury. Now, taking a look at their 2023 roadmap for the DAO, they have a few exciting things coming out. First off, I want to touch on the Ambassador program as well as the KDX Liquidity Provider token. And if we take a look at these, we have an Ambassador program, which is pretty cool in my opinion, because here people are going to be able to vote on different ideas that are essentially going to be marketing plans for the DAO, for the entire ecosystem, and people are going to be able to vote on said marketing campaigns. So that's obviously an interesting thing, and they're obviously going to be using some of that DAO treasury in order to fund these campaigns. Now, there's also a workshop where people are going to be able to learn more and build new DApps all in on Kadena using the pack language. And of course, we have the DAO treasury there for that too. Now, on this website, they do also keep you up to date with all the news, so definitely check that out. But what I want to talk about next is the eckoDEX. And before, as I've mentioned several times now, KDX was essentially only this part. So as you can see, they have grown into much more of a community, and now only having a DEX doesn't suffice, and they need to have an entire community behind it, which is why they've rebranded this to eckoDEX. Now, taking a look at one of the new features on eckoDEX, they've actually partnered up with Cadify, which is essentially allowing them to have professional charts and trading tools. And remember, this is not on an EVM compatible chain. You may be thinking this is super easy. I mean, any other chain has complex charts, but this is a brand new ecosystem all built on top of Kadena. So remember that. And if we go on to the swapping page, you can see that this hasn't changed. There's still all of the different tokens that you can go ahead and swap. And remember, the gas is literally free, which is awesome. You can also go ahead and provide liquidity between different liquidity pools. I am providing liquidity in KDA/KDX pool. I am bullish on both, and I do believe that both will do well. And if we take a look at that, we can see what the KDX multiplier is actually giving me. So as we know, if you are providing liquidity into a pool, you are getting some of the fees that the pool charges for any transaction. And as we can see, if there wasn't any boosts or any liquidity mining boosts, this is essentially what I would have earned, which is an APR of about 4%. But because they've reserved 40% of the KDX tokens to liquidity miners, we can see we have a boosted APR, and I'm earning about 10% per year in KDX, as you can see here. So that's obviously great. Now, right now, the price of KDX is around 3 cents, but ultimately in the future, I do believe this may go up. Of course, it's not financial advice. Now, on this DEX as well, you are able to stake your KDX tokens if that's something you're interested in. And they also have an analytics tab. And if we click on that, you can see a TVL of about 2.2 million. Again, just understand that this is a brand new ecosystem. There's not too many DeFi projects on Kadena. This is only starting up, in my opinion. Whether or not this succeeds, it's only a matter of time. We are just going to have to wait and see if this actually gains traction. But DeFi, in my opinion, is everywhere, and it's only a matter of time before it gets even more popular on Kadena. Now, if we also go to the stats page here, you can actually click on these charts, and this is where the Kadify tools come into play. You have all of the token details here, and you can also see the trading view charts here, and this is all brought to you by Kadify, and it's just awesome because you have all the transactions happening. You can go on to the transactions and see what's happening on these Explorer. Now, the final product in their suite of products is the eckoWALLET, and this has been rebranded from eckoWALLET to eckoWALLET. So if you've heard of eckoWALLET before, well, now it's going to be called eckoWALLET. This is available both on iOS as well as on Android. So that's great because accessibility is key in DeFi, and if it's accessible to all users, then it obviously just promotes it. And it's also compatible with Chrome as well as Brave. So two very common browsers. And if we take a look at some of the features of this wallet, of course, you can access your dApps through the wallet just like any other wallet. You have your swap features as well. And something they're working on right now is a fiat on-ramp, which in my opinion is going to promote the accessibility of this even more. Because if you can go onto your wallet and actually on-ramp with your fiat currency directly from the wallet, it eliminates a lot of steps to get involved. Now, they are still working on that, and they are also working on a fiat off-ramp. Now, if we continue on here, of course, this is going to be secure and compatible with the Kadena blockchain, and it is a non-custodial and private wallet. So people like yourselves, like myself, are gonna have our own wallet with our own crypto keys. So of course, your keys, your coins, and if they're not your keys, if you're holding coins on centralized exchanges, well, unfortunately, they're not necessarily yours. Now, last but not least, I just wanted to touch base on the price of KDX as we've went through the tokenomics and all of that. Right now, it's sitting around 3 cents. And if we take a look at an all-time chart, this launched in late of 2022, around September or so. It launched and it was around 6 cents, around 7 cents. I remember buying it right around there. I was excited about this ecosystem. Then, of course, we had the lovely bear market. We're still in the bear market, and right now we can see it's at a price of about 3 cents. Now, of course, I am bullish on Kadena. I do believe in the next bull market we are going to see some life for Kadena, and I also am a big believer in DeFi, and eckoDAO here is building a massive DeFi community on Kadena itself. So it kind of goes hand in hand for me. But of course, this is something that you have to decide for yourselves. You have to make the decision on whether or not you believe Kadena is going to do well. And if you don't think so, then maybe eckoDAO is not a project you want to look into just because it is built on top of Kadena. So understand that there is different layer ones. Not all of them are going to make it, but of course, you have to make your own decision. So that's the price right now. I'm taking a look at it. I am going to keep following this with a close eye. But with all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, definitely follow them on Twitter, join their Discord, join my Discord. All the links are going to be in the description below. And I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.